All right. Shabbat Shalom, family. How's everybody doing? Thanks for being on. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in Yahweh's sight. He is our strength and our Redeemer, and it's in His name, which is His authority, that we pray, praise, proclaim, project, and protect today's message. Aman. Thank you for being on. Appreciate you. Come on in, everybody. My Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant of Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time, but being the voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. We give all praise and honor to the Most High. We give all praise and honor to Him for my wife, the Honorable Maya, who lives a life that's able to be honored. You can check her out on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish, not A&D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She's a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. I do apologize, Patreon family. So as some of you saw, I came on, and for some reason I could not get on at all on YouTube. I tried to restart the phone, reset the phone a little bit. Tried to come back on to YouTube. It told me I could renew it. It looked like we'd be able to go live. Couldn't go live. So prayerfully everything will work out. Seems like everything all of a sudden working out now. So I don't know if that was just a time issue or something, but it is what it is. But we'll try to make up for it. Especially we'll be having our two classes tonight. They'll be on Patreon anyways. So, they're not these two classes, but the two first sessions will be on today, and then every first session for the rest of the week will be on. So you'll have plenty of content. It was my desire for us to continue Matthew chapter 7 and start at verse 7. Maybe we can try and slide that in somewhere tomorrow. Maybe when we get up, early for our sessions that we're going to start doing, eventually making it the second tier. Maybe we can do that. But right now it is what it is. I do apologize. It was not my mindset to not have that be in front of you all, but I appreciate you. And thanks for coming on. We will try to do something to make it up. Like I said, there'll be plenty of content this week. Just wasn't able to get it going today. Hopefully you guys can see me all right. Can you guys hear me all right where we are? Can anybody just let me know on either platform that you're on? Can you guys just let me know? Can you hear me okay? Can you see me all right? Since we had such issues with signal, I don't trust anything right now. Looks like some of y'all are trying to come on again and again and again and again. So we might be dealing with something again. Okay. All right. YouTube this time is working. Can y'all hear or see me on TikTok? Looks like a couple of you guys might be coming on and on and on and on and on. So before I get too deep into things, can y'all see me? Can you hear me okay? Yes, no, maybe so. Anybody on TikTok? Can you see me? Can you hear me all right? Please let me know. So tonight we're going to continue Q&A, questions and answer. I still don't have anybody saying yes or no, you can hear me. So I don't know. Hopefully they can hear me on TikTok. I'm not sure. It looks like the numbers are going down. So I'm not sure if that means we're still having issues or not. Trying. Can anybody on TikTok hear me? Yes. Okay, cool. All righty. So we got a little bit of time. We have class that starts at 8:30. All right. So we'll be trying to finish here around 8:15 p.m. Eastern New York time. And please don't forget, I will not be on tomorrow in the Rising or tomorrow in the evening. Minister Tamara will actually be on our YouTube channel in the Rising at 8 a.m. Eastern New York time. And then please check her out on her TikTok channel at 8 p.m. Eastern New York time, 7 p.m. Central, as she gives a word, as she usually does. We praise Yah that she gave us a little bit of chance to do our live session, and she preached the word for us on Passover these last couple Wednesdays. So she should be back on track. Praise Yah. So please come out and support her. And I'll be listening in. Of course, if she asks me to chime in, I'll be obedient as well. But we thank you guys. We appreciate you. So tonight's Q&A, we only got a little bit of time left. I don't want to talk your head off. We got about 20 minutes or so. What questions, comments, concerns do you guys have? It took a little while, but you're on. Okay, cool. And once again, I apologize. I still don't know what's happening with the signal, but remember, we'll have a bunch of material, stuff coming on, but we'll make sure that we make it up. All right, because that'll be 2 Tuesdays in a row. We haven't done our live session, and that's not cool. So we'll make sure that we get that together. But any questions, comments, concerns you guys have? How you doing, Brian? How you doing, Big Brother Thomas? Aman, how you doing, everybody? Any questions, comments, or concerns? Let's go ahead and get it. Any questions, anything about the series we've been talking about, prior series we came out of, something you're reading? Any questions, comments, or concerns? Yes, no, maybe so. This is what we're going to be doing for the foreseeable future for a while in the evening sessions, especially while classes are going on. It's probably easiest to just, unless we have something specific that I'm led to say, we're pretty much, like we said, be ready with any questions, comments, concerns, any questions about anything. Where do you order the shirt? You can let us know, and we can get you Brother Jermaine's information. I don't know if he has this stuff set up website wise yet or not, but if you like this, or even Minister Tamara, make sure it's Minister Shante has some designs as well. We're going to work on making sure we're more diligent. We've been putting Minister Tamara stuff up a tiny bit, but we're going to try and be better at getting that in the rotation and pictures. Minister Shante, I actually messed up. I got to get her designs again so I can put them up again. And maybe get a shirt, and pay for one and so that she might be able to send something my way as well. But we'll make sure that those things are there. But you can contact us if you're interested. Just text us, email us, etc. Let us know that you like one, and then we'll get that information to Brother Jermaine. I believe he said the donations, or well, for him it's his business, so for the prices that he's looking for, I believe the shirts. I don't think this includes shipping and handling, although we might be able to work with him on that. So it might still be pretty low to get it to you overnight. But I believe I think the t-shirts are 22 for the 22 Hebrew characters. So all the t-shirts are 22, and I believe he said the sweatshirt's going to be 33. So maybe not quote me on that as of yet, but I'm pretty sure, because I was trying to get him something, because he was, we've been trying to convince him, hey, make sure that you take some of this stuff for yourself and don't try to just give it all to us, right? You putting in work, make sure the workman's worth is higher. So I think once we did the meetup, I think that's what he finally told us, is that 22 for shirt, 33 for the sweatshirts, or for the hoodies. So, but this one in particular, even though he's kind of being stylish with the style, because this would be the opposite way, but basically it's Kwam Yashra'al Yechava Elechem and Adon, right? So rise Israel. This particular one, this is actually, I haven't tried it, but I saw it a little bit earlier. I'm gonna turn on the light. This one's supposed to be glow in the dark. So I'll see if let's see. I know I was in a dark place earlier and it seemed to work pretty well, but let me see what happens if we make it dark in here. This one's supposed to be now. Hopefully I don't knock everything over once I turn on all the lights. My little work area, I got stuff all over the place on the floor here. I think I'm okay. So this one, okay, but you guys can't really see it. Yeah, okay, you can see it. So this one's actually glow in the dark. But yeah, so Kwam Yashara'al Yechava Elechem Adon, or rise Israel, Yechava Elechem is Lord. So there you go. So there you go. That's what this one says. Praise Yah. That's what this one says. Oh, you're right, Minister Shante. Either way, I still need to make sure I get the design from you. But the workman is worth their hire, right? Allow me to give something, to sow something. Yeah, so this is 2X. And as you can see, I still got a little bit of my love handles or whatever, so it still fits me. But I'm 6'5.5", right? So 6'5.5", so this is 2XL. I probably, in all honesty, it'd be tight, but in all honesty, I probably could have got an XL, and still the length is pretty great. Like it goes to about, I don't know, not midway to the thigh, but pretty decent size and stuff like that. But yeah, I think he has up to 3XL. He has children's sizes, all types of stuff. So yeah. But great work by him. But like I said, Minister Tamara's got some shirts. You've seen them before. I even held one up in the screen, I want to say 3-4 days ago. So we'll make sure we do better at making sure her stuff is up there too. But we have quite a few people with quite a few different things. Like we said, we're trying to support our own. And even some of them have said that they bless us, with it. Once they get some stuff, they'll give us some things as well. So feel free. to look into that. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? We're gonna have a whole YouTube recording just talking about shirts if I'm not careful. Any questions as far? Well, I do know one that I didn't get a chance to answer, but before I jump into that, I want to be obedient. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I know one that I missed from days ago now. I believe it was from Minister Tamara. Minister Tamara, if you're still on, please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the question went along the lines of, if you have been in a relationship, how you doing, Sister Beverly? If you have been in a relationship, I believe it was, how do you maybe fast or break the ties or the soul ties, or how do you cleanse yourself from such things, right? So since we got a little bit of time and nobody has any other questions, let's dive into that a little bit, if y'all don't mind. So I believe so in that, and especially so I guess I'm going to be more general because I'm not sure specifics. And all honesty, we were supposed to set up the time to talk, and I haven't done that either. So it kind of puts me in a bad position to answering this question. But what I'll say on that is, if we're going to speak about these things, and we're going to speak about, um, you know, ensuring that we're having better conversation surrounding that topic. Um, I think one of the most important things, first and foremost, is to fast from anything outside of the. You said Sister Monica asked a great one. You said if 1/12 tribes were wiped out, where are the rest of us? I don't even, Sister Monica, if you don't mind, and take as many times as I'm answering this first question, and then I'll try to switch over to yours. If you can give me more information, because there's so many people that kind of talk about the tribes in different ways. I don't even know where to start with that one. If people are saying like 1/12 or 1/12 of the tribes was wiped out, are we talking like biblically speaking? Are we talking about when people say that this tribe is Jamaica and this tribe is Puerto Rico? There's a lot of different ways I can go with it depending on whose mindset we're going by. How you doing, Brother Jaron? I don't know if it's Jaron, Jerron. Please forgive me. So, but back to this first question, real quick. Right, back to this first question, real quick. So, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're talking about how do I cleanse? It's difficult because everybody goes through their own thing in relationships, right? I know, like I've talked to some brothers and sisters where um, it's difficult to deal with something sexually when they're coming out of it due to the fact that they were having sex with this person. Now all of a sudden you broke up with this person, but also you're supposed to be celibate again. I've had people that deal with the fact that they had their identity tied to a person for a long time. And so since they've had their identity, hey, Brother Jermaine, how you doing? People have been asking about your shirt. So we're going to have some people contacting us, and we'll be sending them to you. So you're going to have some orders. I'm on. Praise Yah. Right. But this is, so it depends on how you're doing it. I would say first things first, like anything, is to go through a cleansing process, which is what was asked. How do you cleanse? So we're talking about cleansing from a marriage. Well, first things first, marriage is sex, sex is marriage, right? So if we're talking about marriage, we have to talk about first things first, getting back to making sure that your only husband is Yahweh, whether you are male or female, and making sure that you are his husband, his version of what a husband is in the physical plane. His husband is the wife in the physical plane, right? So we have to have a conversation about that. So there are things that happen where you have to start fasting from certain things. You have to start fasting and giving up certain things. Thanksgiving even means fasting, right? So you have to get to a place where you're fasting, releasing, stepping back from some things, and getting back to yourself. Who are you? So you spent a whole bunch of your time becoming one with somebody, hopefully. Sometimes we weren't even taught how to do that. But now it's time for you to become one with the Most High, not just spiritually, but also physically. There's nobody else except Him. Um, it's time for you to put proper things in perspective. It's time for you to even look at some of the things as far as like you probably want to stay away from I guess, the self sexual activity, if I can say it like that. You probably want to stay away from some of that because that's reminders, right? You have to think of something or be about something. Um, and really, at that, I mean, after that, it just goes through a process of like finding self. What is your purpose? What are you supposed to do? Also, being honest with yourself. Here's a big one. And then the rest of it, to be honest, I need more specifics. But here's a big one is to always remember here's a big one. Your eating habits are going to help because you're going to need to cleanse some different things or even cells that have been put into you and things. But also, you're going to have to get to a point again where you have to make sure that you also learn the things that you were not correct in and fast from those things as well, right? You're going to have to fast from those things, right? And give yourself some space in those platforms, right? So one of the biggest things that people do is whenever I talk to people about life coaching, one-on-one coaching, marital coaching, if they're coming out of marriage, one of the biggest things that happens is everybody's always telling me what the other person did, which is fine. But at some point, we have to talk about what did you do and what do we need to change in your life to make sure that you are proper by yourself. So if Yah, right, agrees to whomever you may decide when you feel led to be married to, again, you need to be your best version of you. And that's one of the biggest things that we need to do out there. Praise Yah. Um, Sister Monica, your question about the tribes. The tribes one is hard for me to answer because once again, it's difficult. I wish I could just have you on and have you talking because what happens is that I don't know which way this goes, right? So when people say, so I guess if you're talking about 2 out of the 12 tribes, my best guess is you're talking about the tribes that Ephraim and Manasseh replaced. And so really what we got to recognize is when we're talking about revelation and we're talking about the tribes, we're not talking about specifically, hey, this group of people anymore, right? We comprehended the 12 tribes are being listed, 12,000 per tribe, 144,000. That's really talking about establishment of government and of a people, and then talking about it on an exponential level. So on that part, we're okay with it, but we're talking about 2 out of the 12 tribes were removed. And what happened to the other 10, we can talk about as far as who is Yehovah, right? A real quick way of looking at it, and you can go down this rabbit hole. A real quick way of looking at it is look at Judah. Judah is really the last. When we talk about Judah or Jews or Yehovah or Yehovah people, these are really not just Judah only, but this is Judah, Benjamin, and part of Levi that's been mixed together, right? And once Rome comes in and not a stone is left upon a stone, that's the last bit of people to be scattered. Truth be told, every time somebody came into Israel and tried to take over the people, or even people who would escape slavery, they were already going and scattering all over the place, right? So when we're talking about tribes, we have this fascination with, well, what country is what tribe? And that's not necessarily how it works anymore. It's more so trying to get you to comprehend that Israel, no matter where she's scattered to, and no matter how mixed up she is, not just in mixing bloodlines with other people, but even mixed with each other. Remember the 9.5 tribes or the 9 tribes that left, some people say the 10 tribes that left, they went looking for a place that was never inhabited. And, when you look up the Apocrypha, when you look up history, when you look up historical geography, things of that nature, geology, when you look up archaeology, we know that they went through Russia and scattered over the Bering Strait, going over into what we now call the Americas, and we have a whole bunch of evidence, both physically, biblically, and even spiritually, if we're going to go there, especially even DNA-wise, E1B1A blood, things like that. So the tribes are all over the place, and there's a lot of different places we can look. We've talked about how you can talk about Anakitawaya, which people call Cherokee people now, or Tisalagi, or Taino, or they're attached to Omekshi, and you can see same bloodline that brings those people together. You can see the same bone structure, and even people who are into eugenics, which obviously we should be careful with, but people who are into that, even eugenics tells a truth, a story of the shape of skulls and things like that. That would have been people who would have been in the land of Goshen, people who were low class in Kemet, people that were in Canaan, and also people who we call African Americans, if you use that term, right? So the thing more so is to recognize to come together, and if anything, have a spirit of those tribes, right? If you are Judah, you have a spirit of praise, right? If you're Levi, you have a spirit of obviously, priesthood. If you are Reuben, obviously firstborn, you have a spirit of like gathering people together and taking on things for the family. If you have a spirit of Benjamin, you have a spirit of being a fighter, right? If you have a spirit of Joseph, you're somebody that brings things together, can make it through tough times. You even get to a place to where you can be able to become second in command, so to speak. You make rank pretty fast, right? Et cetera, right? Ephraim and Manasseh, go look at the blessing that was put on them by Israel himself, by Yasharal. So it's a lot of different things that go in there. So I don't focus as much on the physical, because let's just keep it a buck. Nobody really knows who physically what tribe is anymore. And reality is people are so intermarried, not just into other groups of people, but also into each other's tribes so much that really it's those times, like basically when the temple went down, you have to realize like that part of it kind of went away. We bring some of that back to make sure at least we know who we are. So we should know this person, we got this person, we got that person again. But that was broken. You got to realize that Israel, like to be a priest, to be in certain positions back in biblical times, you had to every year present paperwork to say, this is who my family is, this is who I come from. Now, because of chattel slavery, or because of people losing their faith, because of people giving up their faith, for forcing the Roman Catholicism and converting, a lot of different things, because of people not even thinking of themselves as Israel, but calling themselves other things. Those things don't really exist in the same way, right? So it's more so a spiritual journey first. Will it ever get to a place where we can have all the stuff together before times come back? Possibly, but we're not in that area right now. So we just have to be honest about that part. We're not really ready for that part of conversation. I'm sorry, I know I missed somebody's question. I see you, Sister Betty. We're running out of time too, so I'm gonna try and rapid fire answers real quick. How you doing, Sister Nadine? How you doing, Minister Janice? I see you on there. You said y'all broke your personal vision of what that meant, and now you're in the refining process. I'm on. Yeah, refining is always great. Come out like pure gold. So do you have to pay property tax if you're a non-citizen national? You don't have to pay the tax, but you got to make sure that your stuff is set correctly. And are you prepared as far as paperwork, and also too to make sure that it's very clear that everything that you're doing is not tied to the public. That's the main thing in that. So yeah, you technically don't have to pay any tax, but if somebody comes looking for it, are you willing to do what's necessary? And I mean, I'll keep it 100 with you, because everybody's sovereignty, just like everybody's journey, everybody's sovereignty is their own. So if things don't work out, maybe you need to have something put to the side to at least start a payment plan if you don't do it right, or if you kind of get scared off it, or whatever. Sometimes in sovereignty game, you have some wins, you have some losses. The goal is to have more wins and to have as much stuff as possible that's not tied into the system. So as much stuff is away from the system, you don't worry about certain things anyways. You said, can I talk about preparing for yourself for longer fast periods of time? Basically, when you're talking about going into really long fasts, which I need to kind of even go into one, I'm getting better and getting some strength back and getting, shedding some weight, but I'm still having issues in certain areas. But basically, you start getting less food. You take time out. If I can make it real short, because we got to get ready for class, but you just kind of start shortening your list of things that you're eating, and you start eating less. So you may want to go to intermittent fasting. You might want to start saying, okay, I'm going to get rid of the heavier stuff. So maybe you get rid of meat. Okay, now I've gotten rid of meat for a little while. Now I'm going to get rid of certain vegetables. Now I'm going to get rid of all vegetables after that. Now I'm going to just only eat fruit, and I'm going to get rid of some of the fruit. Then I'm only going to eat one type of fruit, right? And I'm going to drink certain water, this and that, or whatever. And then when I get there to the end, then I'm going to fast. And it's important. I think it's always best to end with fruit, because the fruit's going to help to reset some things as far as your liver and other things. It's going to give you H3O2, but also when you're having the fruit, it's going to be hydrating you. Like I said, the H3O2, it's going to be hydrating you. It's going to be giving you water, and water should be coming with minerals. Because once you start fasting, what a lot of people do in the water fast is obviously we're not having any actual water that comes with minerals or fruit or anything else. So if you're going to get to that place, you're going to drink just straight water without it. It's actually somewhat dangerous because water normally comes with minerals. If you were drinking from a river, right, it would be there. You would be able to have something at all times, right? So just whenever if you decide you're going to do a 40-day fast, if that's what you're talking about, start making plans now. I'm going to start removing this from my diet, this many, for a couple of weeks, then this for a couple of weeks, and this for a couple of weeks. You all right? All right, then this for a couple of weeks, and this, and then eventually when I'm at the last bit, I'm already kind of got my body used to, and I've gotten rid of withdrawals. I've stopped eating just sugars. I've stopped eating, high fructose corn syrup. I've stopped eating things that my body's going to be depending on and things like that. It even is going to prepare your body as well, because a lot of people will just stop eating. Let's say you're somebody dealing with something like fibroid cysts. Your fibroid cysts are eating too. Right? Let's say you're dealing with parasites. Your parasites are eating too. So if you haven't gone through a process of preparing your body and cleansing your body already, by the time you get to that, then a lot of stuff is going to be running your body anyway. So it's going to be tough. That's where a lot of our pain comes in, is a lot of the food that we're addicted to, or a lot of things living off of our body, they start to take over. How you doing, Sister Nadine? Thanks for being on. Hopefully that answers the question. I know I'm going through real fast, but whatever question is next is going to have to be the last one. You said, right? Let's see. Crazy that in developing my own city and indigenous nation that will focus on us relearning who we are, connect back to nature. Amen. I thought I saw another question. I must have missed it. How you doing, Brother Henry? You said, so would all indigenous people be of the 12 tribes? No, right? Just like saying so not all indigenous people are 12 tribes, but you have a lot of people that are. Once again, so I'm what they consider to be Cherokee or Tisalagi. Our original name was Anakitawayak. Anakitawayak literally means the people of Yah, or the principal people of Yah, or the people who keep Yah's principles. To my cousins, the Choctaw people, their original name translates to the people of the skirts. And if you look in the areas that those tribes lived in, there's a lot of ancient Hebrew characters that are all over the place, from people mixing and matching, and also from people who we forget. Pangea was a thing, or what we in our group, we wait till Peleg or Peleg in your Bible, the son of Hebrew, the second son. His name refers to the splitting of the earth. So when that happens, we believe that the earth split from its Pangea form into what it is today. So there's a lot of different things that people are not really worried, So it's just like not all Black people are all Africans, not all Africans are all Shwi, not all Ghanaian people are Ashanti, or all Ghanaian people are Shwi, not all Ghanaian people speak Swahili. So not all Israel is Israel, but at the same time, this is why we say, even if you don't take like a DNA test, which we wouldn't suggest anyways, but even if you don't take a DNA test, if you can look at your family story somewhat, even if it's just a little bit, if you come from certain places, if you have certain things that are in your language, or if you speak patois, or if you do a lot of different things like that, like we can kind of figure out even who you are, no matter where you are. Remember, it's more important who you're from than where you're from. So if we can get enough information and piece together enough generations of who you are, it's not that difficult to at least say, you at least probably come from this tribe. This tribe is connected to this tribe, and therefore, more than likely, you are, in fact, this or not. At the end of the day, that's why still, as much as we know who we are, and we might know who we are, you might know your tribe, you might not. It's about keeping the commandments, keeping the law, being obedient, learning the ways, keeping culture. And the culture is ultimately what makes you Israel, more so than just only your DNA. As much as a lot of Israelites would not like me to say that, but it's real, right? Yeah, people are still keeping customs and traditions over there for sure. Yeah. Matter of fact, one of the pastors that I feel like I've been giving the cold shoulder over there, where I've been telling them I'm gonna call them and get back on track with them. I still haven't done so in about 3 days. But one of the pastors that's with us over in Africa, he is in Kenya. So, and I can tell you, they keep the traditions and the customs, and there's certain things that they're trying to get, some of them are trying to get back to. He's one of them, where he knows that these are things that are kept in other places. So he's asking questions. So believe it or not, like I said, this is something that a lot of people know. all over the place. I'm sorry, Minister Tamara said you pinned something. What did I miss? What did I miss? This will be the very last thing. I'm sorry. Did you pin something and I missed it? It says you pinned the comment. When I looked over, the comment wasn't up. I don't know. I saw clearly that. Oh, it's fasting like a reset, mentally and physically. Yeah, you can fast from anything. Fasting is just when you stop eating. So you fast from the world, you stop eating things spiritually from the world, or metaphysically, or all these different big terms that they have. Mythology, the mythology of the world, the equality of the world, all that stuff. You fast. Same thing with the physical, and it's a reset to a certain extent. But really, for a lot of us, it's not even a reset. For a lot of us, it's salvation. It's salvaging. A lot of us, even from in the womb, did not eat correctly. So basically, we've never seen our authentic self in any way, shape, or form. So for a lot of us, if we would just fast from certain things, we would see our authentic self for the first time, and we would be salvaged. We would get back to our original intent. And many of us have never seen our original intent. Some of us have never seen our children in their original intent. Some of us have never seen our husbands, wives, our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers in their original intent. That's some of you saw, like I saw my father, way overweight my entire life. I don't remember. I see pictures of my father at his marriage, and I'm like, wow, I don't know who that guy is. I see pictures of him in college. I'm like, I don't know who that guy is. But later on in life, because he was heavy, now he's, on his way to being 240, 230. He was at one point over 400, couldn't walk, things like that, taking multiple medicines. Now he's down to 2 medicines, and he's trying his best to get off of those, right? So he's being salvaged. Something that I never saw is something that now I'm seeing in him, right? His original intent is coming. So fasting is not only a reset for a lot of us, it's salvation in a sense. It's salvaging. It's getting back to your original intent and getting back to some things that we were never taught about eating. All right. So I apologize. I know I was ripping and running through that. I hope I answered some of the questions. I feel like a few of them I was off on. So do me a favor. Tomorrow I won't be on in the Rising. Minister Tamara will be on the YouTube channel in the Rising. She'll be on her YouTube, on her TikTok channel, Tamara_Yah9. That's TAMARA_YAH9. She'll be there at 8 p.m. Eastern New York time. When I come back on Thursday in the Rising, we'll continue our animalistic behavior series. Matter of fact, once again, moderators, please be prepared because we're going to talk about the Willie Lynch letter. So y'all already know it's going to be on and popping. And then at the evening time, when we come back at about 8 on Thursday, it'll be 8 p.m. Eastern New York time. Have some questions ready. And if there's some things I didn't get into, feel free to go ahead and, text me in advance or something like that. So when we get to your question, I can already be prepared and have more of a mindset. All right. Said Tom's ready. I'm on. So thank y'all. I appreciate you. We got to get ready for class. If you have cryptocurrency, we're going to start at 8:30 p.m. Eastern New York time in about 5 minutes. If you have Hebrew characters, we'll be starting at 9:15 p.m. Eastern New York time. If you filled out the form for us, you should have, or if we got your email or whatever, you should have already gotten your Google Calendar invite sent to you. And it should pop up and it should have the link for you for both classes. All right. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate you again. And y'all take care. Please check out my wife, as always, the Honorable Maya, on TikTok, YouTube, or website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish, not A and D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She's a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. We give all praise and honor, as always, to the Most High. And as always, I am Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant to Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time by being the voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken, until I have the great privilege, opportunity, and responsibility of being in front of you all again. Please remember, as always, Yashta, that you are loved, you're necessary, you're majestic, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, in you, which is all of us working together, will be the reason why people who are in this system no longer have to be of it. Shabbat Shalom. Yes, Shabbat Shalom, because it's still the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right, y'all take care. Peace.